Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
I'm Preston.
We are reporting once again live from the Trap House on this Hallows Eve occasion.
Hallows Eve.
We have a guest this time that we decided to introduce. Hi, I'm Pierce.
My name is Pierce Wells. What's up?
Do you think that they'll be able to tell the difference between him and me?
I don't know.
I wonder if some people listen to us and they just hear like an onslaught of white people talking and they're just like everything sounds the same. So I thought, since we don't have anything like ideas for topics, that we could talk about education a little bit because we do have two dropouts in the room.
Yeah. I was thinking about that before the episode actually. How
That's funny, bro.
That's something we both probably have an opinion on.
Yeah. Because I remember when both of you all were like going through the decision-making process of like, is college even worth it to do? And I think that's an important mentality to have, to be able to like problem solve like that, because college is not for everyone.
Realistically, I think it's fucked up that right before you're at the age of individuality and like finding yourself and just becoming more confident, because a lot of people go from like a shitty high school experience or just like the clickiness of it all to getting to college where you're like, I'm my own human being now.
Yeah, and everybody's just kind of doing their own shit.
But right before that, you're primed to like do this one fucking thing for the next like few years of your life.
Yeah.
You're programmed. This is what you're gonna do. Like, you're pretty much told.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone always tells you that shit. I think from
college?
everyone's like, bro, just stay, whatever you're doing. Like, if you have people really looking after you when you're a child, they're like, don't do dumb shit. Just fucking go to college and get a degree. Like, that's really just how it is.
Yeah, I think everyone said that basically in my life, and I've always felt like I didn't really have any other option.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
I didn't feel like I could have just like decided, hey, I don't want to go to college, I'm going to do something else with my time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fucked up though, because, you know, free country, you should be able to chart your own path. Like, you're taught to do that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
And I definitely think that's good.
I think it can be scary to go off what you're told. And also, like, you have so much experience being a student that it's honestly easier to continue to be a student.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to
you don't know what the fuck else to do.
That. Right.
That's bro, that's true. I never even thought about that.
Because regardless, you're being like thrown out into the real world at 18. Whether
but
you
it depends
move out
on how
of your...
much it is. Because, like, still going to school, there's like a routine to it versus figuring out your own shit.
And you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, even if you don't like work 50-hour weeks.
Right.
And
The whole like sell of it is like, you put in all this work, you work till you go to college, you get these degrees, and you work till you're 60 something, and then you save up for retirement, and it's just like, that's just not how I envision my life to go at all. Like, who wants to go live like that? Like, I'm not giving
to
away
work till they're 60.
Yeah, I'm not giving away that many years of my life to work for a fucking retirement plan.
Right.
I'd rather, bro, you're only young once. Don't let other people strip that from you.
Very true.
That's really how I feel about it. And with college too, is the incentive kind of is you give away like your physical, because you know you're like, everyone's like, do sports when you're in, you know, elementary, middle school, and high school. After high school, if you're not fucking pro, if you're not immediately something that's gonna be seen, they're like,
if you're not a
college, like,
D1 athlete,
yeah,
there's no point.
it's like fucking like, stop. But that's just not true though. Like your physical prime is until you're 26, and they're asking you to drop out from taking it seriously when you're 18. That actually really pisses me off, because I feel like a lot of people really disconnect themselves from being a physically active person once they go to college.
Yeah.
That's just what that lifestyle breeds.
So much time spent just like sitting down.
Especially like after so many years of doing it, just to be like, well, there's no end goal at this point if you're not going to play for a college or something. If you're not going to be able to take the next step, there's no point in doing it. What if someone dropped like an atom bomb on us? Like, do you ever think about that?
I do on the low. Like, cause you're like...
I'd want to be closer to it than further away
That's
because nuclear
crazy that you
radiation is a
said
worse way to die than being incinerated.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I'd rather
That'd be a painful
turn to ash in a second than
in less than a second.
get fucking cancer like
You would
Here's the
have
thing,
long enough to.
Would they know
process.
that it was gonna drop? How long does it take for an atomic bomb to drop? Because you're just like fucked, right? Like there's no reaction time to that.
There'd probably be like,
'cause you like to
some
check that before it
security
comes.
thing that would detect it,
Yeah.
but like
There probably wouldn't be long enough. Like it wouldn't be on the fucking news. Like it would
It
be.
wouldn't
See,
be
that's
on the
what I'm
news.
saying. If it's
It's
not
not
long
being-
enough to be on the news, then we're all just we're all fucked.
it'd probably be like one of those tornado alerts.
If we just heard it.
That's what I'm
whistling.
saying. Because I was
It
thinking,
just go to everybody's
that's
phone
what it
instantly.
was. I heard like a train or something, and I thought it was like one of the
You thought it was
emergency
an atom
sirens
bomb?
at first, and I was like, if that was an atom bomb, that's what they would do.
Yeah, just play a siren.
And it would just be you're dead. Like,
Yeah.
that's all.
That'd be the last sound you ever hear.
The alarm would be, and then it's just like, all right, this is to alert you that we're all fucked.
It's sad that it's just normal to think about shit like this because it's just a part of like
I was
society,
talking about
the
how
world.
part of my
It's so-
decision for college was honestly that I got to a point like in the pandemic where I was like, fuck it, the world's ending anyways, what's the point?
Yeah.
And so like I was still in school, but I did nothing that last semester because I was like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
World's gonna end.
And
Why would I spend 3 more years in school?
It really has been hard to
Yeah.
not adopt like similar defeatist attitudes. Like I've definitely
already
had
cynical, so,
moments
like-
like that where I've just been like, "Fuck, what's the point?" Even
I think you have to be optimistic though. I mean, if you really,
because
Once I got past that, I got to the point of like, I'd rather be spending my time doing something else. Instead of getting in debt, I'd rather be saving money right now.
facts.
Because realistically, this
Big
country
facts.
is built for self-employment. So why would I rather
Yeah.
waste money going to school for I don't know what versus saving money so that I can do what I want with that?
I think that's a lot of the problems in this country are because of people. There are people who just don't know how to do that. To really
Yeah.
be independently.
It's a hard decision to make. Like
It
I
really
totally
is.
understand that, and it took
It
me
really
being
is.
like depressed about it all versus like coming to a natural conclusion of I'd rather just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
going for it.
Because there are alternatives. I'm thinking I might go back to school just to get like an associate's so that I can have a better paying day job.
Yeah.
But I'd rather fund my hobbies with that money and like try to make something out of what I enjoy.
Definitely.
I think I'll just be a happier person in general if that's what I chose to do with my life versus set in one path. Because I'm also so ADD that like I can't imagine deciding this is the one thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I would get bored at some point and fucking lose my mind.
And that's why it's such a
Exactly.
difficult
Doing the same-
decision.
I got to change it up.
That's how I felt when I was in school, bro. If you, the way you feel in school is the way you're gonna feel in your job. Like that shit's fucking boring as fuck, and you don't want to be there.
Okay, so a lot of people
That's
talk
what-
about how like they fucking hated middle school. I loved middle school. I loved the Montessori program. It was like
They went
built
to
for the
middle school
ADD
together.
brain, and
It wasn't good for
I
me. 'cause
vibe
I'm
with it.
I'm a fuck.
You're not self-disciplined.
Nah,
It wasn't even about that. I
naturally
literally just did
self-disciplined,
work
though.
with other people and made it through. But like I feel like I learned more
Yeah.
because I was actually able to teach myself at a younger age versus being taught to.
Do you
and,
all
like,
think
all the
that's
same shit?
Do you all think that's helped make you more like independent, having that at some point in your life where you didn't really have as much guidance and you were just supposed to do whatever the fuck you were supposed to do? Because that's what being fucking grown is like. There's no fucking teacher telling you
True.
and explaining fucking meticulously how to do it. I
Like-
think there's too much structure growing up. And
Yeah.
probably does.
Oh, and
something
I've
to
gone
make
to
people
public
like
school
that.
my entire life, so like that's most people's experience with education. Here's what you're doing for this hour and the next hour and this hour. And like that's how they set up prisons. Schools are literally designed to look like prisons. The cafeteria is basically what
Yeah.
they serve people in
Exactly
fucking
the
prison. Like no, like
Fucking
factually.
No, I mean I see it.
I mean, at least our high school,
They give you
had
candy
some like
instead of
windows
cigarettes
and
as an
shit.
incentive. Like
In my middle school was in the inner city, and so they would have like 1 foot to like the ceiling window in each class that you couldn't even really look out unless you like went straight to it. So they're literally like, does feel like prison when It's like that. I like the sun.
Some
I kind of like looking outside because I can pretend that
That's-
I'm outside.
that's
I
what
would do that so
That's
much.
all I
Daydreaming.
did. That's
Yup.
all I did in class.
I
bro.
daydreamed a lot.
Facts, dude. It was such a waste of my time. I felt like that. I felt like that from the fucking jump. I swear to God, I hated that
Why
shit.
the fuck am I here?
Yes, it's
from day one. Kindergartner peers just be like, fuck this.
Shit was fucking. It's just like I don't want to be here.
And why would you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this might be incredibly nerdy, but the word kindergarten comes from German, meaning like children's garden. So in Germany, younger
bro.
kids have school outside because it's conductive to their young brain. Like they still get to explore, but they also get loose structure. So they'll have like lesson time, but mostly they're just outside playing outside, being fucking kids, which is way more important than learning some shit that they fucking try to teach you.
Yeah.
Think about how much time was stolen of our childhood in fucking classrooms. In my elementary school, we had fucking uniforms. I was a kid and I had fucking khakis on and I was inside.
My youngest sister goes to daycare right now, and she goes to traditional school. So she wears a fucking uniform. She's 4. She just turned 5, actually. But, like, what's the fucking point?
Schools?
In telling a child they can't be, like, an individual like that. And just realistically, like, that's a closed-minded mentality to say that little girls have to wear skirts.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
why the fuck are you making kids wear, like, a button-up and a sweater?
It's not about what you fucking wear. That has nothing to do. I understand.
I get the
There has to be
discrimination point
self-discipline,
of like
discipline.
saying it's so that kids can't be like, well, I have these fancy clothes and you have these shitty clothes, and like some kids are like that. But how about we just teach kids not to be fucking assholes and treat them like they have some common sense, because they do.
That's not gonna go
And a lot
away.
of people treat kids like they don't even have a fucking brain.
Bro, schools take away too much responsibility from the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't raise a society of people that is giving away their child 1/3 of their life to school. Like off rip, like from you're 4 years old. And it's just like, bro, instead of encouraging parents to go fucking work at a place that fucking doesn't really mean anything.
And probably
for
doesn't
8
pay them
hours.
enough, like,
But
anyways.
probably doesn't pay them enough anyways. And force the kids to go to fucking school. Like, you're just teaching people to give time to things that are beyond them. Like,
Absolutely
why you
don't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's
Family
just
is way more important than fucking your 9 to 5 and your kid learning all the fucking presidents. Like, we don't even retain that much shit. Like, honestly, I don't understand why there aren't more, like, mentorships. Like, people used to go and be an apprentice to get into a profession.
Yeah.
Why don't we do shit like that anymore? Clearly, some people at a certain age could tell you, I don't think school is right for me. Why don't we have people go and learn how to do a specific job? Because realistically, you could be an electrician and not have a fucking high school diploma. You could go and learn how to be an electrician before you graduate high school.
Bro, you can be, bro. But you can learn to be an electrician by the time you're 12. If you were really taught like that.
I know.
Like,
if you were around it, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's pointless ass shit. Like, bro, I understand you for just to be a human that's gonna really understand the world, you have to be taught simple things. Like simple math and stuff like that.
I've also said before that I think shit's taught in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Like, kids get, like, you can teach a kid math at a younger age.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be teaching history and teaching the wrong history to a fucking child. You should teach a middle schooler and a high schooler, like, actual fucking history.
Yeah.
They're gonna retain it more
rather
than telling your kids, oh, the Pilgrims and the natives had a nice meal. Like, the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
How is that part of history class?
You definitely don't understand that shit at all when you're a child.
You don't understand any of the complexities.
If you have to dumb it down, you shouldn't be teaching it to them.
You don't learn any of the, like, actual morals that are in history. Like, you're just learning, like, oh, the Revolutionary War. And it's like, okay, why does this need to be taught at such a young age? Some shit I understand.
I think you should learn more science
it's
and math at a
patriotic
younger age.
mentality. They want to hand that down.
Because, like, you really do have to...
brainwash them when they're fucking young.
Yes. I mean, but
straight up,
there's nothing inherently wrong about it, but because that's just kind of how humans work. Like, you're gonna pass down stuff to your child, but this is something
that society
it doesn't progress
down.
every generation.
Right.
It's something held This is what they've been teaching kids for.
I do understand like shit like math at a younger age because you do have to start off like 2 + 2 because you think like 12 years later I'm doing derivatives and shit. And it's like you have to take all the steps. You can't just speed through the process because you had to learn I had to learn like the multiplication table and shit. Like, that was hard for me. I had to sit down and like I had little fucking cards and shit.
Don't ask me how to do long division.
You shouldn't be a financial advisor.
Why do you need to know if you have a fucking calculator, bro?
Right?
What? Like, what's the fucking point of the calculator?
If you don't have a calculator, if there's been some EMP or some shit, the world's fucking ended anyways. You don't need fucking math, you need survival skills.
Yes, exactly.
If I don't have a computer to do this shit for me, I probably don't need to know how to fucking do it. I need to make sure I eat.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to know geometry. I didn't need to know any of the math that I learned in high school. I need to know how to do my taxes, and that's about it. Home ec's important. More people should take a home ec course, and there should be like an actual home ec course. Like learn how to cook for yourself.
Yeah. Learn how to feed your fucking self. Yes.
Plenty of people don't know how to make themselves a fucking meal, which is fucked up.
That's what you should be taught as a fucking child too. It's how to fucking eat. How to eat right. I know you have fucking gym class, but that shit ain't enough. Yeah. You need to be teaching people to be healthy from a young age, from the jump.
And I feel like that is where it like crosses over with the home shit. Because a lot of people's home life, they're not taught how to eat well, though. Yeah. And it's generational. They've been teaching the same fucking pyramid food
fake
scale.
Food pyramid.
Yeah, which is all a fucking lie anyway.
Bro, you just know. Whatever, that shit makes no fucking sense.
It's made up.
That shit makes no fucking sense. And it's crazy. It took me a long time to learn how to actually eat right. When in all reality, it's simple as fuck.
In my mind, that fucking food pyramid was created by a school board just to say that their fucking lunch was healthy. Yeah. Realistically. And they're able to set their own regulations pretty much. Some fucking counties, pizza's a fucking vegetable because it has tomato sauce on it. Like, straight up. They'll be like, french fries, that's their vegetable.
That's the carbs.
That spicy chicken sandwich, that kind of slaps. That's their protein and carbs.
They was feeding y'all spicy chicken sandwiches in the fucking prison-ass cafeteria.
I never had a spicy
chicken. Do you remember those circular pizzas? Not the square pizza with like the square pepperoni, but the circle pizzas.
Those were awful too.
Those were terrible, dude.
I remember in like kindergarten, I'd be like, this shit slaps. But then I was like, I had peanut butter jelly sandwich for like most of my fucking...
I know a lot of people like that who got the fucking prepackaged PB&J every fucking day.
Yeah. Well, Uncrustables need to be given to kids pre-thawed.
You
can live off some fucking Uncrustables, bro. Uncrustables smack.
Should that be our plan for the apocalypse? Just have a big like walk-in freezer filled with Uncrustables.
Yeah, no, you know what I think's dumb about doomsday people? Yeah. Is they rather stock up on an unholy amount of things that will eventually run out.
True.
Instead of teaching themselves how to fucking learn.
Set up a fucking farm in your bunker.
Exactly.
You know, college, it really is like oriented towards the future. Like, it's not supposed to pay off in the next few years. It's supposed to pay off when you've had a job for like 10 years because you got like an entry-level position that you could only get with a degree. It is hard for me not to be defeatist sometimes, not being like, oh, well, I'm doing all this fucking financing work so I can be happy in 10 years when the world could have fucking ended in 10 years.
Yeah, and you could have just been living life.
Yeah, I could have just been, you know, doing me, but instead I'm doing fucking homework.
Anytime I get asked what my goals are right now, I'm really just like, save money. That's it. And for some reason, people accept that answer, which I appreciate. I think everybody can relate to that.
Nobody can disagree with that. Yeah, no. We all saving money, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to keep talking about education.
No, we can rant about this all day.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But you got anything else in mind?
I don't have anything else in mind. Okay. But that was a really good
conversation. I want a little bit more of your take, because I feel like I've said a lot of my piece on what I think of school, and like, I feel like my decision about college also comes a lot from my opinion about education in general, just being like unnecessary and programming and
facts,
shit like that.
I think the last thing they should be doing is taking away children from parents when they're fucking... When do you start going to school? 4, 5?
Some people go to preschool when they're
I was 4.
Some people are in daycare because their parents are professionals, and they'll be
that's the last
somebody at by the time they're like a fucking newborn.
It's the last thing.
My grandma runs a daycare, and she takes kids from like
That's cool.
a few months to like right before they're able to go to preschool.
Yeah.
I remember daycare being lit as fuck.
It's nice. She tries to teach them their alphabet so that they're fucking ready for that shit in preschool and kindergarten. And with my sister, like, not being in preschool, she definitely went in a little socially unprepared. Little kids can be assholes. Like,
Yeah.
realistically, on, like, a social level. Because she, like, first week of preschool, she was talking about some boy on the bus wanted to see her face, like, pull down her mask.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, so I showed him my face. And he said he didn't like it.
Damn!
Was she really salty about it?
No, that was exactly how she said it. He didn't like it. But he said, like, do you want to see my face? And he showed her his face, and she said, I think your face is beautiful. Damn.
That's nice.
She's
That shows
she's a
character.
smart kid, though.
Yeah.
And, like, she's very empathetic.
If she peaked that at the age of fucking 4,
yeah.
That's bro. That's a better comeback than I could think of.
I know,
If I was
right?
in that situation, I'd be like, your face stupid too. Let me see your face. Your face stupid.
I would have said, shut the fuck up, put my mask back on. I would have been like, I would have like, you're ugly as hell too. Boy, if she's really about that life. Okay,
She's
here's the
too
thing,
good.
I think most
That's
people get how to be a very good person when they're young. It's just
hard.
It's just life keeps you from being that. I think every human faces that.
I think we're all definitely, like, born pretty fucking pure.
Yeah.
And then life happens, and that determines everything else.
So there are the two schools of thought about that
Nature and nurture.
in a state of nature, that you're either born good, naturally good, or you're naturally evil.
You're never gonna know the answer to that, though. You're never gonna know if it's nature or nurture.
It's something to think about,
It's
though,
gotta be
because you see what people do in certain situations. They just
Instinctively, almost.
in a state of nature, in, you know, kill or be killed mentality. It's called that for a reason. Like, you would rather, like, you know, fucking kill somebody than
You
let
think it's
something
easier
happen to you.
to respond with violence than with, like, a brain and conversation and, like, actually trying to talk things through? Because I think realistically, you'd probably save way more energy just killing a motherfucker with a rock than trying to talk it out. Just like on a survival stance, just fucking kill him instead of wasting your time when you could be hunting food.
I feel like killing people, though, would take a lot more energy than just trying to be chill with them. You know?
Also competition, though.
There is that. Okay. If
Your natural response is going to also, when you see another human being, not just be like compassionate, would it also be competitive?
Yeah,
like
and I think a lot of society is trying to take away the reality of that too. Trying to act like we're above that.
By nature.
We're trying to act like we're above that as humans. We're not above that. You see it in sports. You see it in war.
Right.
What else
We're
is
naturally
war?
competitive. It carries over to literally everything.
That's just how it goes. There are definitely influences of nurture or of nature in there that are always going to be there. So then, but what makes a human like go crazy? Because why is the nurture that fucked me up? You know?
Yeah.
Because did it overtake the nature of the human? Like what? How do you define that? You know what I'm saying? That was very hard.
No. I get what you're saying. There's always going to be a natural response, but like it's hard to figure out what is taught behavior versus what is naturalistic, instinctive behavior. Because all animals have instincts.
Mm-hmm.
People are still fucking animals.
Yeah.
Even though we like to think we're something else, we're still fucking animals, and we're gonna have a natural response.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay, it's fight or flight.
In a certain situation, life or death, you're gonna fucking fight like nothing else. Like you could have never been competitive before, but you're gonna be bum rushing everyone out of the fucking way for that door if you need to. Like,
yeah. If you feel that, like, if you absolutely have to, you're gonna do what you gotta do.
It'll kick in.
It's crazy that, like, we never know what we do in a situation like that, because
Until it
people
happens.
watch shit like that and they're like, oh, well, I wouldn't do that. I would let the people in front of me go.
No, you wouldn't.
And it's like, Maybe you would.
Hopefully,
Maybe you would run them over like a fucking lineman.
Yeah. That's
you don't
facts.
know.
Yeah. That's another thing. People really like to assume how they've been in situations that they've never actually been in.
Sure.
You have no idea. Don't even try to act like you know how you're gonna act in a situation you've never fucking been in before. People be responding to shit online and be like, couldn't be me for real. It's like, how do you know? I used to do that so much too. I'd be like, oh man, I'd slap the fuck out of him. Like, no, I really don't know if I would.
I'd probably shut my ass up.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah. No, I like
usually my reaction is, this is just, I gotta go, get away.
I gotta go. Yeah. I feel that.
I was like, I'm not trying to even be a part of this.
In every situation, I'm a head out. Man, fuck these fucking planes. This has been fucking ridiculous.
Stop.
I'll see what I can do.
Doctor it up.
Just if it goes low quality, just fucking let the audience know.
Yeah, just be like, hey, just
hey guys,
just sorry.
We're being attacked by the fucking Russians or something, and there are a billion planes
flying. The Japanese are flying back over.
Dude, okay, this might be.
That's
we're talking about
thing to say, right?
I'm having flashbacks, man.
We're talking like Cold War era shit. I keep thinking about like wanting. You can make like a pirate radio station pretty easily. And I feel like it'd be dope to have a pirate radio station for the podcast that just plays like the episode of the week or whatever just all day on loop. So you can just tune in if you're in the area and listen to the episode. But I feel like it'd just be cool to hear our shit on the radio.
There's only so many frequencies they allow you to use though, right?
It's mostly unused frequencies. So any channel that you go to that's like static,
yeah, that's true.
You can play over it because there's nothing on that station. But the only reason that they're illegal is because it can fuck with like planes and shit. I think that's what kind of reminded me too. But fuck them.
Really, bro?
If your signal's strong enough.
Highly Suspicious Podcast.
Well,
takes down a plane.
Hold up though.
That's how it starts.
You all are right next to an airport.
True.
Planes that keep on.
We're closer to the plane. Maybe they'll just like hear it as they pass over.
Okay, but in what way is that gonna mess with the plane though? Like what?
It's like communication shit.
It probably wouldn't like.
They're basically there. They'll be fine.
I'm always like that when I
That's
land
not
on
true,
a plane.
you don't want them to think they
off
can land and then it turns out there's a plane broken down on the wrong way.
Well, they can still fucking land. They just can't go to the fucking gate or whatever.
But they won't have someone to tell them to land on a different strip though, and they'll just go, oh shit.
Oh shit!
If they don't see a fucking plane on the runway, that's their fault.
What if it's a fucking?
They can turn.
What if it's fucking
fog, Louis? Fog.
Planes don't on the runway like that.
Mid-air.
Boy, that would fuck everyone up. They'd like flip over and just whoosh.
So I'm gonna take us back a little bit,
just
to school, but not to anything serious.
Highly Suspicious Podcast.
Why were people fighting in the morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning in the cafeteria? Whoa. They got to school and they wanted to beat the fucking shit out of each other. Why would anyone want to do that? I was so tired in the mornings, bro.
Right?
Like,
can you imagine having the energy to square up?
Most people in there probably on like 6 hours of sleep, maybe 5 hours of sleep. That's another thing about school. Sleep. They fucking sleep deprive us. Like,
realistically,
low key,
we are supposed to get like different amounts of sleep at different ages. School treats it like you need 8 to 9 hours of sleep, no matter how fucking old you are.
Yeah, and that's assuming
it's
you go to bed at fucking 10.
They have it. They have younger kids go to school first, older kids, or reverse that. Older kids go to school first, younger kids go to school next. Like, so they can use the buses and shit.
Yeah.
But that's the reverse of what it should be. Younger kids actually need
a lot more sleep, yeah.
A different sleep schedule.
Kids are, I mean, you take
and
naps,
like teenagers, your body's growing so fucking much.
Fact.
You're using so much energy.
Yeah.
You need hella sleep at that age.
Yes.
But when you're stuck doing a shit ton of pointless homework, because if they're teaching you right at fucking school, you shouldn't need to do too much homework.
I would always choose sleep over homework, though.
Straight up.
Like, if it was 10 o'clock and I was still doing homework, I'd be like, alright, bro, that's enough of that. I did a lot of my homework at school because I was just like, it's not that difficult. I can copy somebody's answers or something. I should probably cut that out because I still go to school.
No, who cares?
I cheat all the fucking time.
I did too.
Let them know. Let them know.
That's the truth.
At University of Louisville.
Most people do cheat their way through fucking school.
Oh no. Boy, you keep doing that, we're gonna mess with the radio frequencies. Alright.
I think we should. We have to take back the sky.
Just blast them.
We usually cut out the bad parts.
Some
of the shit we say is
well, hey, we should
just
talk about
provocative for our point.
Because we have to talk about music. If I'm on this podcast, I feel like we have to talk about music.
Okay, we can talk about music.
Okay.
That's what we talked about on our first episode.
Yeah, I would listen to that one. I remember y'all talked about was it Kanye? Was that first episode?
Drake and Kanye.
Yeah. Dude, Louisville's popping right now.
Yeah, right.
What do you think's happening? Halloween?
Yeah.
Is that really,
potentially?
Dude, we'd be traveling for Halloween. That's not a travel holiday.
Yeah, that's not.
Because you don't get it off.
At work.
That was another thing that was bullshit about school. They made us come to school when we had fucking Halloween the night before. You think we weren't out
Halloween's important?
Yes.
For you to not have school?
Halloween doesn't mean shit, dude.
Fake holiday.
Halloween's lit.
If you can move the
Halloween's
holiday,
the best part of the year. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
If you move the holiday, is it really the holiday though? There's recently been a trend of like, okay, we're going to do Halloween the day after, or the day before, whatever the fuck, depending on weather and other shit, how that shit works. Imagine trying to be like, let's move Christmas to the day after Christmas.
They wouldn't like that.
Right?
I mean, but I feel like that's how it goes though. Everyone's got so many people to visit nowadays.
True.
Bro. And you gotta fucking to travel to people you know now. You sometimes have to go across the country.
True.
And so you have you have your family Christmases on actual Christmas Day, but for everyone to meet up for a family Christmas, for this family's Christmas,
right.
And your whoever's your wife's family Christmas, your cousin's Christmas, your girlfriend's, like whoever's fucking
your mom's Christmas,
whoever's fucking Christmas. Like that's really how it fucking be. And
okay,
same with Thanksgiving, because those are two so big. Like those are just that big.
I'm gonna hold mistletoe over your mom.
Oh.
Okay, how did I go from we should talk about music to fucking Christmas?
I don't know.
Have you seen the
Highly
Christmas Cafe? There's a new place on like Frankfurt, I think, called the Christmas Cafe.
Oh yeah, I think that's stupid as shit, and I really hope it doesn't stay open for the next year because I predicted that shit was gonna close because that's stupid as fuck.
I predicted that as well.
I was tapping the bowl and it definitely made it loud as fuck noise on the mic.
You're good.
You're gonna get like 6 just like.
Well, thank you, Pierce, for coming on the podcast. I mean, I know that we didn't have like a plan before we did this or anything.
Bro, it's all good. I like to be a part of things like this.
I felt like it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Like it's the conversation I felt like I needed, honestly. I like ranting every so often. It feels just good for the soul.
Soul food.
Yeah, you gotta rant to somebody about something.
Yeah, I usually do.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Highly Suspicious Podcast. Hope to see you next episode. Thanks for listening.